Here we go. All right, this is down here on one end of the property. This is gonna be the last creek video I make for a while. So I'm gonna show you the final result and give you my thoughts. So they showed up yesterday, put straw down, seeded stuff in. This is cleaned down. Let's see what would be on like the southeast part of the property. Which somewhere in here, there's a rebar stake. That's my corner, but I can't find it yet, so it must be down deeper. Anyway, we'll walk up here. I'll go this way. There's the grizzly. Listen, if you're looking to buy a four-wheeler, Yamaha Grizzly, that thing is basically bulletproof. It's got the big wheel kit on it, and that thing just runs. I recently had to do a little bit of work to it, but you know, it's 20 years old, so what do you expect? Which it ended up just being the ignition switch after I tore the whole thing apart 3 times. Alright, so right here, right down there is where it just was. So right here they dug this down a little bit to lower the creek channel. And it's hard to see with the phone camera, but this whole thing, it just kind of keeps stepping down, stepping down, stepping down. Keep the water moving. Right here's one of the cross vein assemblies. The log goes across the creek up there. They really hardened these in, put a lot of big limestone in here. This is R7. He put some seed down. It's funny because you wouldn't think that seed would grow on these rocks, but it will. It gets a little bit of moisture and it'll take off. Now my fence is down because I have it unhooked up there, but wonder if I can get around there. Hold on a minute, stand by. Now there was a little, I think it was a water snake. There's only maybe 12 inches or so right there. Tommy said he seen a 3-footer up here when he was digging. This cotton picking mile minute weed. I am strongly against using chemicals, but I just don't know how you control this stuff without them. It's just, the stuff, it grows so fast, and it's like a plague. All right, go under here. Try not to fall in the creek. All right, I didn't do a lot of filming of this piece here. So this is one of the log sails that they put in last time. I see Tommy dug that down a little bit. And this one held real nice and tight, didn't have any problems with it. There you can see they strawed and seeded this in. Now it's hard to see, but underneath those logs there's a good 12-16 inches of space, and the creek actually goes up underneath there, which makes a good place for the fish to hide. I can tell he dug this out a little bit here, which is probably all this stuff here that he threw up on the bank. Here's a great big old sycamore So if that thing drops seed, I'm going to sprinkle a bunch of them seeds along this bank. Because those sycamores, if you've ever been around any streams up here in the Northeast, you know you're going to find sycamore, and they will hold tight in that bank like nothing you've ever seen. All right, now here, this is on up the stream a little bit. I'm probably about, we're probably pushing 100 yards from the four-wheeler. We see these big rocks he put in here because the creek was actually going and hitting that sycamore, and it was starting to dig behind it. So he reinforced this bank good and hard. And I see they put geo down here too, so that's good. Seeded all this in real good. I'm glad he knocked that brush back. And this is a little like rock cross vein they stuck in the last time. It seems to be holding pretty good. And then on up there, you'll see where the next cross vein is. And that's where we're headed. So I'm going to make my way back down to the four-wheeler here. I'll get on that. We'll head up that way. I'll finish showing you the rest of this, what it turned out like. But those guys, all of them, they do good work, and they really do care about what they're doing. And look at the size of that cotton picking bittersweet vine. That's bittersweet. That stuff will crawl up a tree and choke it right out. Now somewhere in here, I planted some plum trees. Pretty sure I marked them with a ribbon, but I think I'll wait till fall, till all the leaves drop, to try and go in there and find them. Jumping Jupiter. I had got some sort of plague there on Monday, and had a good case of the craps and really bad stomach cramps. And then Tuesday, I just didn't have any energy, no strength, and was just completely wiped out. So, hold on. I gotta try and navigate this here mess. So it took yesterday was Wednesday. Oh, jumping Jupiter. So I took yesterday, and I rested quite a bit yesterday. Took a bunch of vitamins. That always helps. Took some NAC. Been taking a boatload of that here lately. This too, they opened this here up too, which I applied for this invasive species control. What I want to do down here is I actually want to put an orchard in down here. There's really good soil down here. Get a forestry mulcher in here, chip a bunch of this stuff. I'm probably going to leave most of the walnuts, but oh, thought I heard bees. There was a yellow jacket's nest in here one year, or he got me. Anyway, probably leave the walnuts. And then a lot of these cherries, they're never going to amount to anything, so I'll probably just cut them down, stack them up for firewood. Alright, I'm going to hop on the four-wheeler. Stand by. Now, right here is where he crossed my electric fence, where I took the electric fence down, but they seeded this in real good and strawed it down. Stand by. Alright, we made it up here to the next mud sill here. Opened this up pretty good. Man, if I just had some seed, I'd plant a lot of this stuff. But seed's expensive, and right now I'm like you, or a lot of people, I'm broke. Here's a bunch of coon tracks. That's a pretty big one. Looks like she's got some little ones with her. Now Tommy said he was watching a juvenile fisher up there, and then, yep, that's coon, okay. And he come down here and he found a porcupine upside down in the creek, and they had the whole thing eaten out from the bottom. So I think that fisher killed a porcupine and ate them. That's one of their primary food sources. Okay, so here's the next log seal, or cross vein. So here's the one underground. You got your ones that go up, one over here. This one held. This one was from the last time, and it held good. Because we had the right amount of power coming through here, it kept the channel centered. This log seal here, he dug this out quite a bit too. I don't know why the water's so muddy. It's like right in here down. That's really weird. Unless there's a muskrat or something in there. The muskrats, you never know when they're gonna show up. Oh, what was that? Something just jumped. There must be a fish up there. It jumped. Anyway, so he reinforced that a little more. Put some more gravel up there. Dug this out a bit. There's my wood duck house. Should probably go check that one of these days. And up here, he put a rock cross vein in. This was all from the last time too, and it held good. Got this vein going, this log going up here, pushing that back to the center. Everything in here held really well. This is also a really good fish habitat too. Yeah, let's walk up here. Feet are already wet anyway. Alright, so he dug this out. Made a little deeper hole. And that cross vein right there, can I get, yeah, here. So this cross vein right here, yeah, he dug that down. That's about 3 feet deep right there. Wasn't that deep before. So this cross vein right here, you can't tell on the camera, but from right there to about right in here somewhere, I'll bet you there's 1.5 feet of fall in that grade. And then caught picking, bugs are getting me. This cross vein held up pretty good, but they still stuck in bigger rock to get it to hold. And then here's the log that goes across the creek. And I'm just gonna walk across here, give it a rip. Alright, let's check this out. He sloped this bank off. Now this one here, same thing. This is pretty deep in here, especially right there. And I can see the whole way along there. Some of these are double stacked logs. So there's lots of room in underneath there for the fish. They need a place to hide, especially from the herons. I'm gonna tell you something. You get a couple herons running up and down a little creek like this, they will clean it out. Yep, here we go. So this is a pretty long sill here, but this protects that whole bank, and all my fields are up there. This one held up really good. It goes back up underneath there a good ways. I remember them putting that one in. Alright, so we're gonna... So right up here is the creek bend that they completely redid that failed. I'm gonna go down here and get the four-wheeler. And then I'm gonna meet you back up there in a minute or two. Alright, stand by. Alright, just pulled in. See, the problem is I go around recording stuff and I can't remember what I recorded and what I didn't. But that's okay. It's all good. Alright, let's go down here. Okay, now, this was one of my main concerns because this was the piece that kept digging into the corner there, flooding that back field. They put a log seal in, and then they backfilled that with limestone, and then they built the limestone up on the bank so there's like a shelf there. So if it breaks over the log seal, there's kind of like a rock seal there. Okay, but all this is designed to push the water back. And eventually the creek, it'll find its center here, wherever it wants to be. And that log seal ain't going anywhere. Because they like double rebarred stake that thing in. And this is going to be great trout habitat. I guarantee you there's trout in there. I'm watching for him. Lots of redfins. Okay, so right down there is where we just were. Lots of fall here. Keep the power towards the middle of the creek. Keep the gravel moving. It's been threatening to rain all day, but it hasn't rained yet. Hopefully it'll wait till I'm done doing my little tour slash recap slash review or whatever. Yeah, the funny thing, Tom and I were talking, and it was so weird because everything that failed was on, if you're facing down the stream, was on the right hand side. And we were talking like, it's almost like the creek wants to go back up against the mountain again. I don't know. It's weird. Can't explain it. Now, Tom said this is original creek bottom here. It's pretty hard. So they dug this all out, lowered the grade, keep the channel centered up. And this is the new tractor crossing right here, which I might have to open this up just a little bit more, but we'll see how things go here. Now, he took that truck and trailer across here yesterday in two-wheel drive. This is a nice approach, nice gradual grade here. Looks like the turkeys were in here. Dirty buggers. Anyway, once we do our invasive species control, because this is all Japanese stilt grass in here, then I'll probably do something, replant that. That's nice and open back through there. Grade's pretty good. So that should all be good. If I get some nice weather here, I'm going to knock that hay down in that back field pretty quick. You know, these I love, these are Keen shoes. I think they're called the Pittsburgher, and I just love them. This is like my 5th pair. Ones I wear to work, probably my 6th pair. And they're kind of like, they're built like a work boot, but they wear like a sneaker or a really good hiking boot. All right, right here, you can see on this cross vein that they completely redid this one. They moved it. So they got lots of grade going up here to push it back towards the channel, back towards the center. Got lots of limestone in here to harden it up. This is also really good for the water. It helps to, with the pH and stuff, clean the water. Let's go up here and see how they, I don't think I've seen this. I'll have to go up, we'll go up here and check this out. Because it's one cross vein up here they stuck in to turn the channel. It washed out really bad. Right here, this is a nice hole here. He dug a lot of this stuff out. It's all up here on this bank, but the way the creek's coming down, it pushes against that side. Now that cross vein right there is designed to push it back towards the center. And in one of my videos I got, he put like great big 4-foot round boulders over there against that bank there, so that ain't going nowhere. They're about, those boulders in there are 3 times the size of the R7, which supposedly, I think it's the Army Corps engineers or whatever, supposedly R7 water's not supposed to be able to move it. Yeah, okay. Anyway, we got geniuses working for us. So they put a bunch of limestone in here, hardened up that cross vein there. That's going to push everything back over this way. He sloped this whole bank in, dropped the grade right there because that's basically my property line, so we couldn't go up any further without the landowner's permission. But so he dropped the grade right there. That'll keep it centered up and good. We also put a hemlock tree in there. So all in all, I'm very happy with the work they did. All those guys are great to work with. When they leave, it makes me sad because, you know, you get to be friends with these people and you never know when you're going to see them again, because they travel all over the state. Right here, this was a spot where they staged limestone and stuff, but they seeded all this in, graded it off, put straw down. Now, in case any of you are wondering, like these field roads that are wore down and you see some places that dirt's a little loose, that doesn't bother me at all. The grass, it'll come back in the spring and it'll be good. No worries there. Cows are all laying down. Wind's picking up. And then next spring or this fall, if we get, you know, really bad floods again and something fails, then I'm going to have to go through the NRCS again and apply for funding to get this creek fixed again. And I said it in one of my previous videos, but I'll say it again. Even if you don't have a stream on your property, you know, if you want to do some stuff for wildlife habitat, you know, waterfowl, wetlands, whatever, just give these people a call and just talk to them. I think you'll find out that it's not as big of a deal as you think. Now, I'm going to tell you right up front, the government works on their own schedule. So, don't get in a hurry. Now, if it was an emergency type situation, like, you know, something was going to wash out a house or something like that, they would take care of it. But you got to fill out the paperwork, send it in, submit for funding. But there's a lot of money out there that you and I both pay in taxes that you can use to benefit, you know, waterfowl, wildlife, fish, a lot of different things to help out landowners. I'll let you know how I make out with the invasive species stuff. I'm not getting a real good vibe through the NRCS. I don't understand why it's taken so long, because I might be mistaken, but I believe I submitted for that stuff last year about this time, like fallish. So, and still haven't heard anything about it getting funded. All right, well, I'm gonna go take it easy for a little bit. I'm about wore out. I got to go back to work tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you. So like, subscribe, send it to a friend. We'll see you on the next one. Here we go.